So members of the university board, that includes the DVCs whom I'm flanked here with, there's Professor Mutai on my right, and Dear Choka on my left, as well as Peter Odera, and other members of management board, members of Senate. Senate usually includes all professors, deans, directors, and chairs of departments, staff, students, comrades. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You can wave your hand up so that I know you are hearing me. Students? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, good afternoon. I want to take this opportunity to say that I am delighted to welcome you back into the university. And this welcome goes to all students. That includes the ones who are completing their first years, second year, third, fourth, and then a graduating class, and staff of this university back to the university campus after an absence of about 7 months away. We all know the reasons why we were away. It's because the world has been attacked by something which is unprecedented. We have a virus in the name of coronavirus. I'm told it's in the family of normal colds, but this is another type, transwild. It attacked people from China, if you recall. By then, everybody was thinking that it was a small issue, so we deal with it, and it goes away. But you know what has happened? Around March there, it came into our nation, and came into the country. What the government did was to closely shut down those businesses that are normally taking a large population of people. Among them, it included education. So our university was closed somewhere in March, and all activities were closed, both operational as well as students. However, after a week, we opened the operational activities. That is those activities that do not need students. And so they have been going on a limited amount because staff needed salaries, the places needed to be maintained, and so on. Now, after a few moments, please, I'm also calling those who have opened their, please mute wherever you are. So the Senate has met again and decided that we should need to go on with activities, and hence began what is known as ORDEL. In brief, ORDEL means open, distance, and electronic learning. This whereby institutions, including most, decided to treat the students using online platforms like the ones we are using today, that is Zoom. And the others, of course, you know about them, to reach their students. And what happened is that we ended up, there is somebody who is so stubborn does not want to mute. Fred Osodo, please close your computer. Permanently. Yes, okay. So we started our activities through online learning rather than face-to-face. So the lecturers had to train, first of all, themselves in these gadgets. And we also took our time to train the students. After attaining that training, we started learning. Some classes went on, as you recall, where people were taught. We are able to teach several classes here and there. And after teaching, some classes were examined. Postgraduate also classes were examined. That's where we had masters and PhDs which were examined orally. were examined. And because of that examination period, we now have students who are ready for graduation. Apart from learning going on, other operational activities have been going on. While you were away, the lecturers were doing research. We have an active center here which is dealing with the Artemisia annual research. If you recall, this is one of the drugs that the Madagascan government is using to protect against COVID-19. And our researchers are quite advanced. They are collaborating with some universities in Tanzania. And the one who is leading is Professor Omolo, if you know him, the one in biological sciences. So this is something we have done. I want to remind us again that the impact of this disease that had on society not only stopped learning, but lives have been disrupted. People have lost their economies. As you recall, many businesses were closed because of the lockdown, because of the curfew. So people who are earning, their earnings have been disrupted. Social lives were also interrupted. Me, for example, my family lives in Nairobi. I spent here close 3 months before I saw my family. Well, I saw them and they are well, but I'm told other families were disrupted, others broke down, and many other things that came up. When we were looking online, the students who had gone away, especially those in high school and primary, we were not amused with the rate of pregnancy that we are seeing. So we believe that social life had a many impact. But whether all the same, we are through that part and we have conquered it. I want to believe. Now, the Kenyan government continue looking at ways in which we can mitigate against the coronavirus. Apart from medication, we are looking at management strategies, and we want to thank God that our nation is among those nations in the world that has a very low death rate because of coronavirus. The rate is about 1.5% compared to countries like USA, who have a rate of 6%. For one reason, our countries have been spared by the mercies of God, and that's where we are. However, although we saw the decline in the rate of infection over time to what the World Health Organization normally refers to as a flattened curve. A flattened curve occurs when the rate of infection goes to 5% and below. That means in every 100 people you test, only 5% will be positive. So because of it going down, the government decided that we resume normal activities. It has even changed the curfew hours and allowed businesses, especially restaurants, bars and others, to reopen in the city and everywhere. And finally, they have allowed students to come back. The advice we got immediately was that students will not all come. They may come in batches, in different phases. So for the first time, we have been advised to allow students who are doing their final examinations with the objective of them graduating within the year. Yes, we took advantage of that, and that's why you are recalled back. And we are saying, welcome back. We are assuming it's mainly the fourth years who are around with the aim of taking examinations. There are those who are sitting for special exams as well as supplementary. We want to wish you well in your examinations. Please do them, and then you'll be prepared for graduation. We are yet to firm up the graduation date, but approximately 18th of December of this year. Please regard the date that was put in the newspapers of 4th. The dates which you may be given permission is 18th of December. Now, although I wish to also remind you that normal learning will continue for other people. As you recall from the schedule we gave, we shall immediately call the first years, that's the new lot that has come in. We try to admit them online, but we were only reaching about half of them. So we thought we delay so that we can have them back. And they are coming in from 21st onwards. The Vice Chancellor will give his speech to welcome the first years on 22nd, that is Thursday of next week. So if you have a brother or a sister or a student who is joining us, tell them to come in as first years. Well, they are not coming here to stay the whole semester. The reason is because this pandemic is still on. They are coming here to identify the university, to meet you, to meet me, to meet and be oriented well with the things around, and oriented with the order learning. After some time, we will let them go back home. The professors have envisaged that they may take about 3 to 4 weeks. Then when they are home, we will tell them what to do. But without saying anything, it's obvious that we will do online learning, even with that group. We understand that the other groups may be here too, second years, third years, and those to be fourth years. We wish to say that we will be advising you in the course of time when normal learning is resuming. And normal learning will begin with your examinations. So please continue to prepare. Be ready for the examinations before the classes begin. Now, I want to go back a bit. I want to say, although normal learning activities and face-to-face interactions have begun in a way, I wish to remind us that we have not overcome the pandemic. The disease is still with us here. In the beginning, used to concentrate mainly in the main city, Nairobi. If you could hear an infection of 600 people, more than half of them are from Nairobi. But if I recall yesterday's figures, only a quarter were from Nairobi, and the rest were in the rural, meaning the disease is now in the community. It's within us, it's in Kakamega and all that. We have been warned by the county government that we should be aware. There are cases within Kakamega. They are there. And because of that, we need to do a few things, which I thought we need to remind ourselves of. A few things to learn to protect ourselves mainly, to protect our parents, to protect our staff, to protect our colleagues. Those have been told to you on and on, but let's remind ourselves over them. One, we have noticed that this disease is mainly not within the university, but outside. It is got in places where we have very high crowdings. And the biggest culprit has been identified to be in bars, I want to repeat, and then restaurants and markets. We are urging you people to avoid as much possible those places. You must only go there if you must. For example, you may need to buy your supplies in supermarkets. Go there. When you are there, or observe the World Health Organization protocol so that you protect yourself. That means you wear a mask, sanitize, and don't be careless. Don't engage into talk. Keep distance from people, even if you love them. I know when it comes to second years and first years, there's that adage of first year pop, but this time I'm urging you guys, avoid that. Even if you like anybody, the best way to express love to anybody is to avoid them. I hope we are together on that. Sebe is smiling at me, but that's the truth. The only way to express life to anybody is avoiding them. So we encourage you, please, to take care. The same methods of care we also encourage us to do. When you pass through the gate, we are not going to allow anybody to enter through without a mask. They must also sanitize at the gate and also wash their hands. I want to tell you that our team is on the ground making those places ready, so that when you come in, you wash your hands, you probably sanitize, and you go through the gate. Put on your face masks, always, whether from the gate and the other thing. I want to please plead with students. We have observed there are some students who are even tricky. They go exchanging face masks. That means somebody enters with a mask in and looks for a smart way to take the mask back so that his friend or colleague can come through. Please, if your colleague has a virus, you'll just be spreading it to you. Do not engage into that. So avoid those. There are cheap masks around the supermarkets. The university also will soon be producing some masks in one of our departments so that we can sell it in a very cheap way to our own students. These are reusable masks which are branded most. So be on the lookout for them. Please keep social distance at all times, not only in class, but wherever you are. And social distance means 1.5 meters and above from each other. If you really love one another, please keep that distance. Again, when you go to class, make sure that that is provided for. We try to keep that. I've noticed that the other classes have come in, and we are urging them to do their businesses and leave the finalists around, so that we have as little population as possible. Their turn will come in. Now, the university management is trying to do everything it can to ensure your safety. One of the things that we did when we went away, we developed what we call an emergency response team. And this is led by none other than the retired Major General, Professor John Okoth of SONMAS. He's the one leading our emergency response team, of course supported by other colleagues, including Dr. Sum. They are ready to take care of any emergencies. So one of the things we did form that team, which is liaising with the county government. And county government was pleased to give us leadership so that we can engage with them in preventing, treating, and of course developing any other protocols towards prevention of this. So this team is working effectively with the county government. Among the things they have done is to erect the places where you can clean your hands, on the gate what you can do, and so on. Apart from the emergency team, we have a department in chemistry there that is producing sanitizers. We are going to produce those enzyme sanitizers, especially over the weekend, in a big way, so that we can sell it to our partners and even to students and other well-wishers and stakeholders. Apart from developing those things, the university is buying in a big manner thermoguns, which you shall be using before you enter any class, or even before you come into the business place. So please make sure that you use of those facilities. Again, in case we have somebody or a case that we suspect, the response team will act on them. Among the things they'll do, we have already made an isolation unit. There is an isolation unit which you will be informed wherever it is in the course of time. But believe me, we already have one where we'll be taking our own clientele to be isolated. We are in the process of equipping it, especially during the weekend. Come Monday, it will be well and fully equipped. So we can take care of any cases that may come in, positive or suspected. And I would wish to assure students, please remain calm. We are on top of things when it comes to that. Not only are we working alone, we are working as a university, together with the county government, together with the national government. There are teams around, quiet and even loud. Come to ambulances, they are there. So Stanley Ojago, remember there are teams around, and stay safe. However, I must say at the end of this, although we may have all this, still the responsibility remains yours. You need to take the utmost care of yourself. I think that's the best and the biggest way in which to deal with this malady. Take personal responsibility. Don't be careless. Don't walk without masks. I'm hoping I'm addressing you in your rooms. That's why you're not wearing masks. But as soon as you go to public places, Sebe, I hope you are living with somebody there who is close to you that is safe. Maybe your sister or who. Yeah. So take care. Now, I want to address the students who have not yet back into the compound. Students, the others will come, I've already said. Your time will reach, especially the second year, third years, and the fourth years to be, when you'll be called back to do examinations. And it is soon. Of course, we gave you a schedule. So prepare for these examinations. To look for funds and pay school fees in time. It also goes obvious to say, please, we need you to be armed with a smartphone, tablet, an iPad, and a laptop. Because whether you want it or not, for now, the mode of learning is through blended learning. Blended means more is on open distance learning, that's through Zoom, and others, and a little bit of face-to-face. I wish to, as I go to the end of my communication, address staff and other stakeholders. I wish to take this opportunity and thank the staff, particularly those who are with us here when we were dealing with the emergency. You kept the university vibrant. You kept it going on. I wish to address especially the professors and lecturers. They kept on engaging the students. They had not gone this way before, but they tried their best to come on the platform. Many staff learned this duo. They learned the gadgets, and they are still learning. So please, continue learning. I want to address especially the vulnerable staff, especially the older members of staff. What I mean in this case, 60 and above, or even 65 and above, to take especially special caution. We urge you to work remotely, even from home. You can still get your students on class online. Nobody's going to take away your job. It is protected. So stay home and work from home. I also want to address the vulnerable groups, especially people with diabetes, people with blood pressure, people with pneumonia, people with any other sicknesses like malaria. Heavy malaria is dangerous, and others. Please try to engage with the services as much as you can from remote places, especially from your home. And I also want to address even students who are here now. If you feel any symptoms like you have malaria, a high fever, and even having colds, please seek medical advice. And also, if you can, avoid crowds. The moment you have even colds, please go home. Don't stay. You don't have to be in the compound. Colleagues, if you have friends who are having colds, waambie wakae nyumbani until they are well. Because that thing sometimes comes in like a cold. So we can't tell which one is a genuine cold and which one is real. It's not real. So staff, I'm saying thank you for taking care of the place when students were away. And now we are back. All of you are back. I'm urging especially the support staff who are cooking for the students, please do your work as needed with the utmost care. We expect you to address issues of hygiene as much as you can. We also are urging other members of the entire university community, especially the technical staff who are here, technicians. This is the time you don't have to put your guards down. Do your job as much as concerned. There are those who are cleaning the compound. We don't want overgrown grass. We wish to see a beautiful compound as much as possible. I also want to thank you for the student leaders who are there. Students, if you have any issues, pass it through the student leaders. I have a very soft spot for students. Will address any issues as fast and as much as they come up. And basically I want to try everybody and say, we have never gone this way before. It is strange, it's new. So sometimes people may make plans, and who knows, situations may change, and you see those plans changing. So if we come out with different pronunciations, it's not because we intended to, it's because on how things are rolling out. Otherwise, I'm wishing you a good time here. I wish you a healthy stay. I believe in God and I'm born again. I forgot to say my name. My name is Professor Solomon Igosangwa Shibairo. I'm a horticulturalist specialized in what we call Olere culture.